Hello everybody, welcome to onedrinkpodcast where we talk about one topic for one drink. I am Matthew and we are going back to the 80s again. I love these series. I'm having a lot of fun with them. I grew up in the 80s, so I thought why not talk about the 80s and talk about all the cool, weird, funny stuff that was going down in the 80s, you know what I mean? First show, talked about the Walkman. Everybody had a Walkman that lived back then. Some people don't know what a Walkman is. That's understandable as well. We talked about the Cabbage Patch Kids. Everybody had a Cabbage Patch Kid in the 80s. They were a very popular doll. And also the rotary phone. I had the rotary phone. I had a special guest with me. He had to figure out how to use it. He couldn't really understand how to use it, but showed him how. And you know, cell phones rule the world now, of course. I mean, what would you do without your cell phone? Exactly. And last show, we talked about the great movie Roadhouse. I mean, what more can I say? Everybody loved that movie Roadhouse. I know I did, so I had to talk about it. And that's what I did. And this week we are talking about the Smurfs. Yes, that is right, the Smurfs. Now, if you don't know what the Smurfs are or have never heard of the Smurfs, you're lying. That's just the bottom line, you're lying. Even the young generation, I think, maybe not. They might not know what the Smurfs are, but everyone from the 80s, you know what the Smurfs are. Comment below. Let me know what your favorite Smurf was. So the Smurfs took over the 80s from 1981 to 1989, almost a decade. They were on, I believe, on the mornings, Saturday mornings. I know I watched them. Did I have a favorite Smurf? Not really, I didn't. They were all just... It was just a funny show to watch. But very popular, super popular actually. So let me tell you what the Smurfs are here. Classic Saturday morning cartoon series featured magical blue elf-like creatures called Smurfs. The Smurfs, named by their personalities, inhabit a village of mushroom houses and an enchanted forest. The lovable creatures are led by Papa Smurf and lived carefree, except for one major threat to their existence, Gargamel, an evil but inept wizard who lives in a stone-built house in the forest, and his feline companion, the equally nasty Azrael. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, that Gargamel guy, he scared me. I don't know what it was, but oh man, he freaked me out. But I did forget about the cat. He did have that crazy, crazy cat. And yes, Papa Smurf, the leader of them all. I remember there was Smurfette. There was a bunch of Smurfs. So let me tell you some of the Smurfs' names, if you happen to forget. And if I come across your favorite one, hit the like button. Tell me that you missed your favorite Smurf. So we had Smurfette, Papa Smurf, Brainy Smurf, Handy Smurf. Ooh, I remember him. He always fixed everything around the town. Smurflings was the children's, obviously. Baby Smurf, Gargamel, Azrael the cat, Joker Smurf, Vanity Smurf, Hefty Smurf. Ooh, I remember him. I think he was the one that worked out and, you know, was the cool guy. Grouchy Smurf, self-explanatory. Jungle Smurf, Clumsy Smurf. Now I remember this one. He was kind of like the Three Stooges out of the whole Smurf group. No matter what he did, he would fall or just be plain clumsy, I guess. Astro Smurf, King Smurf, Greedy Smurf, Black Smurf, Lazy Smurf. Normal Smurf, Grandpa and Nanny, and Farmer Smurf. So if there's any Smurfs I miss, I'm sorry, but those were the most popular ones. I mean, I remember Jokey Smurf. He would always crack jokes. None of them that were pretty funny. If we watched them now, maybe, I don't know. But I do know that after the cartoon ended, they did come out with a couple movies. Some animated Smurf movies. And, you know, seeing that I watched the cartoon, I thought, hey, why not watch the movies? I watched the first one, you know, it was an alright movie. Second one comes out, had to watch the second one. Same thing, it was an alright movie. Nothing special, but that was the end of the Smurfs so far, and I'm sure they're going to come out with another one. Very popular, very cool. So yes, in the 80s, the Smurfs, they took over. And I remember also, they used to come in, I believe, the McDonald's Happy Meals. You would get a little Smurf inside the Happy Meals. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Because I remember as a kid, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a Happy Meal so I can get a Smurf. I mean, I don't even know if I have any Smurf collectibles from when I was a kid. I have a bunch of wrestlers and starting lineups and a bunch of other stuff that I'm gonna bring to the 80s show, but here's a couple Smurf facts for you, just to keep the show going. The Smurfs were the result of a silly dinner conversation. Like many things, I think, that are brought to the world or invented or thought of, if it's not on the toilet, it's definitely during dinner. Conversations are brought up all the time. You know, sometimes you think, oh my God, we should invent that, or we should start that. You know, most of it's at a dinner conversation. And that's how the Smurfs started. Talking, this, that. I think it started as a toy at first, or like a doll, and then execs at like NBC or someone caught onto it and they started doing a cartoon. And after the first year of the cartoon, boom, history was made. Smurfs were in everybody's house. Everybody knows about them. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't, I believe that you're lying. So ask a friend, ask your kids. Just be like, hey, do you know what the Smurfs are? I mean, they're always on the internet. Somehow, some way, the Smurfs has made it in to the young generation's ear. I can promise you that. Kind of. The Smurfs are specifically 3 apples tall. That's it. Small little things. And the answer to the age-old question, what color does a Smurf turn when it is choking? It turns purple. You know how like with us humans we turn blue? Well, since the Smurfs are blue, what color do they turn? They turn purple. That's what they say. I've never seen a Smurf choke, so I don't know if that's true or not. So don't quote me on that one. So yes, that is the show of the 1980s, the Smurfs. Comment below, let me know what you think or what your favorite Smurf is, your Smurf moment. I just thought it was cool because I remember growing up, I mean, it was on for 9 years. And if you have any other ideas for the 1980s show, back to the 80s, let me know. Text me. If you want to be a guest on the show, come on and we'll talk about some 80s. It's pretty easy. I have a lot of things, of course. I have a lot of shows lined up. But if you would like to join for 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them, let me know. You can come on the show. You can follow us, One Drink Podcast, on YouTube. You could follow us on Facebook, and you can listen to our beautiful voices on all major platforms: iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, all of them. You just type in One Drink Podcast, and bam, there we are. kind of fun. It's kind of cool. We are competing with, especially on iHeart. They showed our logo next to Kevin Hart one time, and then it was next to like Rover's Morning Glory, and it was just funny to see that, because they've got millions and millions of followers, and here we are, One Drink Podcast from Rochester, New York. I don't know how many followers we got on the listening side of things, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching. I see we got a special guest here. She wants to be part of the show as well, so why not let her? Thank you. See ya.